Deck Chair Millionaires, Aaron Biley here. Today's quick video is going to be on systems. Okay, systems for your network marketing business. And if you haven't got these in place, I highly suggest that you get together with your upline and your team and you put them in place ASAP. Chances are you have something similar in your team set up already, but if not, make sure you've ticked off these checkboxes. Or if you're just starting out in network marketing, or you're just starting up a new team, make sure you have these systems in place. Number one, you want to make sure you have live events. Okay, the cornerstone of your network marketing business has been, is, and always will be live events. Yes, we've got a lot of online technology now, but you still want to have that live event, that interaction, that camaraderie, building relationships, showing the opportunity in a live forum. That's where people get excited. That's the number one way the light bulb will go off for someone to build the business, get engaged in the business, stay in the business. So make sure you got live events. Work out how often you need to have them. Depending on the energy, depending on the growth, depending on the numbers, do you have them weekly, bi-weekly, do you have them monthly? You'll be able to work that out based on the numbers and the energy. You don't want to dilute it too much by having them every week, okay, but maybe you don't want to leave it too long and having them every month. I recommend a minimum of once a month in an area that's got some energy in it to make sure you get those live events going. Okay, make sure you're running online webinars. Okay, make sure you're running them at a minimum of once a week, if not every night. Live webinars, in my opinion, from my experience of conversion, the live webinars have converted second best after a live event. With technology now, you don't need to go all over the country or international. You can literally copy and paste a webinar link, send it to someone in a different state, in a different town, in a different country even, and have them watch a presentation from the comfort of their own home. Because it's live, that prospect actually has to schedule in the time, take the time out to sit down and watch that presentation, and it has a similar live event effect. Okay, so they will convert well, and it's just great leverage tool. If you can get good at copying and pasting and get good at inviting, you can build a full-time income in network marketing through webinars. Minimum once a week. No reason you can't hold them every night if you've got enough people to run them for you. Make sure you know how to do a three-way phone call. Okay, the way that the phones are set up now with the smartphones, very, very simple to do a three-way phone call. I find the biggest reason people don't do this is because, number one, they misunderstand them. They think that they're scary and the prospect won't like them. If you set them up correctly and do them correctly, they're perfectly fine and they work really, really well. They work the third best way. The second reason I find people don't do them is because technically they don't know how to do them. They look at their phone and go, how do I do that? Which is literally as simple as pressing one button and calling somebody in. So three-way phone calls are fantastic for edification of your upline. Maybe someone's better at talking to that person than you are, or maybe they've got a similar interest or similar background to what this person does, so you can plug them in. Remember, third-party edification will just about always work better than you telling that prospect something. So whether it's to talk about the opportunity, whether it's to do some training, whether it's a second or third time they've heard about the business, plug them in, make the business bigger than you as quick as possible. Three-way phone calls are fantastic for that. Make sure you've got team trainings, and you can either do this on webinars or live events. I highly recommend to make sure you've got at least one team training a month live. Okay, whether you do weekly team trainings online, whether you do weekly team trainings in small groups, that's all fine, but a minimum of one a month live training where you get a big group together and you can teach them anything you want to teach them. You can teach them the three-way phone calls, teach them the scripts, teach them internet marketing, teach them social media, teach them about the compensation plan, teach them about the products. People need to learn these sorts of things. Make sure incorporated into that you've got getting started training. So make sure you've got a system up that day one, when the person gets started, they know they've got to do step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, within the first 48 hours, they've got to have this done. Within the first 30 days, you've got to have this done. Make sure you've got a really clean cut and simple getting started training that everyone in your team knows how to do. Make sure you've got online presentations. It's 2013. You need to make sure it's somewhere you've got an online presentation of your business opportunity. So maybe you're running live webinars every week, that's fantastic. Maybe you're running live events every month, that's fantastic. But you want something that's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can plug people into that, drive traffic to that website, drive new prospect phone calls into that website. Because maybe it's 5 days until your next webinar, maybe it's 20 days into your next live event. Three-way phone calls, maybe you want someone to really see the presentation. Okay, you can have a presentation running on the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That way you can now do 100 presentations a day. You know, you used to not be able to do that. You can't drive all around town and do 100 presentations a day. If you get 100 people on a webinar, that's great, but it's rare, but then you have to do that webinar every night of the week. Okay, but if you can have it running the whole time, then you can have unlimited amounts of people exposed to your business opportunity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make sure you've got some sort of group email set up. That's pretty self-explanatory, so you can send out all the latest updates and news. So make sure you've got everyone in an email group or a WhatsApp group. All these sort of apps, they can all help your business, especially when you're overseas and people don't have an overseas connection. Something like WhatsApp can be fantastic to text all your group, be here at this certain time. Make sure everyone's got the WhatsApp application on their phone, so as long as they've got wireless, whether it be a SIM card or a wireless network in the hotel, you can keep in contact with people overseas to let them know to meet here, this is on, or to give you a phone call if they're building the business overseas as well. They're just little small things that are worth looking at if you're going to build the business big. If you're going to build big income, if you're going to go overseas to build your business. Make sure people have a way to find out about all this sort of thing. So make sure people know how to find out about a live event, live training, live webinars, all these things without having to ring you up all the time and say, when's the next live event on in this area. So make sure you start up a Facebook page where the events are all listed, or a website where the events are all listed, or a Google Calendar, somehow where people can find out about all these different things, so it's leverage. You've always got to think about conversion, leverage, but also keep it real. You know, keep that camaraderie, that relationship, and that people business going, you know, with those live events as well. So I hope that's helped you with the business. Make sure you got those systems in place. To really recap really quickly, live events, make sure you got live webinars, make sure you're doing three-way calls and your team knows how to do them. Do some training on that. Make sure you got a way for people to find out about all these different things. Make sure you got some overseas systems and contacts in place with your technology. You got your group email system set up. You got your online presentation. You're getting started training. Yeah, they're the real basic minimum systems that you want set up. Remember, the opposite of duplication is complication. Okay, so you want to make sure your systems are simple, that anybody can do, that anyone can follow, but you've also got to have those systems in place as well. You don't want to be taking phone calls 10 times a day. When's the next live event on? How do I get started with my training? How do I do a three-way phone call? Okay, I was going to talk to that person, but you know, there wasn't a webinar or a live presentation coming up and I don't know how to do three-way calls. Make sure those systems are in place. That'll help your team duplicate. It'll give them the confidence that they can build the business without necessarily having to get up on stage or present, because you have the systems in place to help them build the business. If you can show them those systems when you're presenting to a new prospect, that'll also help them with their mindset of, can I do this? Because they might be thinking, well, I can't do a presentation, I can't stand on stage, I can't do a live webinar, but if I can tap people into the systems, I can see how I can grow this business, I'll join. Systems are very, very important, especially in the new age of network marketing. Hope this helps you out. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to contact me. I can help you with any technology or setups that you want. And I'll talk to you soon. It's all about becoming a deck chair millionaire as fast as possible. Ciao for now.